The Night's Watch is one of the oldest military orders in Westeros, founded around 8000 BC following the Long Night. When the White Walkers first threatened Westeros, the last hero rallied mankind to victory at the Battle for the Dawn. According to legend, Bran the Builder then raised the Wall, a massive fortification of ice stretching 300 miles across the northern border. The Watch was established to man the wall and defend the realms of men. The order swears sacred vows to hold no lands, take no wife, father no children, and serve until death. Breaking these vows is punishable by death. The Watch is organized into 3 orders: the Rangers, who patrol and fight beyond the wall, the Stewards, who maintain the castles and handle supplies, and the Builders, who repair and maintain the wall itself. At its peak, during the Age of Heroes, the Night's Watch had up to 10,000 brothers, manning as many as 17 of the 19 castles along the wall. By the time of Robert's Rebellion in 283 AC, only 3 castles remained garrisoned: Castle Black, the Shadow Tower, and Eastwatch by the Sea, with fewer than 1,000 men total. The order is led by a Lord Commander who is elected for life by the brothers themselves. Notable Lord Commanders include Jeor Mormont, who led the Great Ranging in 299 AC, and Jon Snow, the 998th Lord Commander. One of the darkest legends in the Watch's history is the Night's King, the 13th Lord Commander, who fell in love with a woman who came to be known as the Corpse Queen. She was thought to be a White Walker. With her, the Night's King enslaved the Watch and ruled the Night Fort for 13 years, before being defeated by an alliance between the King in the north and the King beyond the Wall. During the Great War in 305 AC, the Night's Watch fought at the Battle of Winterfell, where the army of the dead was finally destroyed. The Small Council. This body serves as the executive cabinet of the Iron Throne, advising the monarch and enacting royal policy across the 7 kingdoms. The Small Council was created by Aegon the Conqueror around 1-2 AC when he unified 6 of the 7 kingdoms under Targaryen rule. Before the conquest, each independent kingdom had its own council of advisors, but Aegon consolidated and standardized this system. The Small Council consists of 7 key positions. The Hand of the King serves as the monarch's chief advisor and can rule in the king's name, essentially the Prime Minister of Westeros. The Master of Coin manages the crown's finances and treasury. The Master of Ships commands the royal fleet. The Master of Whisperers runs the kingdom's spy network and intelligence operations. The Master of Laws oversees the realm's justice system. The Grand Maester, appointed by the Citadel, serves as the chief advisor on matters of science, medicine, and history. The Lord Commander of the Kingsguard advises on security and protection. Throughout the Targaryen dynasty, the influence of the Small Council fluctuated, depending on the attitude of the ruling monarch. Kings like Jaehaerys I used the council effectively, while by the latter stages of Aerys II's disastrous reign, his hand, Tywin Lannister, was ruler in all but name. During Robert's reign, 283 to 298 AC, the council was dominated by Jon Arryn as Hand until his mysterious death set the events of Game of Thrones in motion. Key historical Small Council members include Tywin as Hand, Tyrion, who served as acting Hand during the Battle of the Blackwater in 299 AC, and Peter Baelish, who rose from minor lord to Master of Coin through cunning and manipulation. In the series finale, King Bran the Broken reforms the Small Council, with Tyrion as Hand, Bronn as Master of Coin, Davos as Master of Ships, Brienne as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and Samwell Tarly as Grand Maester. While the Small Council advises the monarch on matters of state, the king's physical safety falls to an even more elite group. The Kingsguard is an elite order of 7 knights sworn to protect the king and royal family with their lives. Like the Night's Watch, Kingsguard members take sacred vows to wear no crowns, win no glory for themselves, hold no lands, take no wife, father no children, and serve for life. The order was founded by Aegon the Conqueror in 10 AC after 2 members of his personal guard attempted to assassinate him. His sister wife Visenya convinced him that he needed more than just household guards. He needed an order of elite protectors. Aegon's first Lord Commander was Sir Corlys Velaryon. Kingsguard knights wear distinctive white cloaks and armor, symbolizing their purity and detachment from politics. The deeds of every Kingsguard knight throughout history are recorded by his Lord Commander in the White Book, a tome kept at the White Sword Tower in the Red Keep. The Order's prestige has waxed and waned throughout history. During Jaehaerys I's reign, knights like Ryam Redwine were paragons of chivalry. During the reign of Aerys II, however, the Kingsguard was commanded by Sir Gerald Hightower to protect the Mad King even as he committed atrocities, creating moral conflicts for honorable knights like Arthur Dane. Notable members include Barristan the Bold, who served for over 40 years under 3 different kings before being dismissed by Joffrey. Also, Jaime Lannister, who joined at age 15 and was branded as Kingslayer after killing Aerys to save King's Landing from wildfire, and Sir Arthur Dane, the legendary Sword of the Morning who wielded the ancestral blade Dawn and was killed by Ned Stark and Howland Reed at the Tower of Joy. The Order's darkest period came under Joffrey and Cersei, who filled positions with corrupt knights like Meryn Trant and Sandor Clegane. By the show's end, Brienne of Tarth becomes the first woman to not only join, but also command the Kingsguard. And if you want to learn more about the Knights of Westeros, make sure to check out our deep dive on all of the greats. The Maesters of the Citadel. The Order of Maesters is an ancient scholarly organization dedicated to learning, science, medicine, and advising the lords of Westeros. Based at the Citadel in Old Town, Maesters form a politically neutral intellectual class, serving every castle across the realm. The Citadel was founded thousands of years ago, predating the Andal invasion. The Order's symbol is a chain, with each link representing a different field of study. Maesters earn individual links by proving their mastery of a specific subject. Links are forged from different metals representing their field: yellow gold for economics and accounting, silver for medicine and healing, iron for warcraft and strategy, pale steel for smithing, Valyrian steel for the higher mysteries and magic, though few earn this final rare link. As a Maester's knowledge grows through their life, so does their chain. Maesters swear vows renouncing family ties and personal ambitions. They handle written correspondence using ravens, provide medical care, educate children, and advise on law and history. The Order is governed by the Conclave of Archmaesters, with the Grand Maester serving on the Small Council. Notable Grand Maesters include Pycelle, who served for over 40 years, but whose secret loyalty to House Lannister compromised the Order's neutrality. Archmaester Marwyn also claimed the Order actively worked to kill the last Targaryen dragons, while Samwell Tarly discovers forbidden texts about the White Walkers at the Citadel in Season 7. One of the Order's most famous members was Maester Aemon Targaryen, who refused the crown, joined the Citadel, and served the Night's Watch for decades. At Castle Black, Aemon mentored Jon Snow before his death at 102 years old in 300 AC. The Iron Bank of Braavos is the most powerful financial institution in the known world. Braavos was founded over 400 years before conquest by escaped Valyrian slaves, and the Iron Bank emerged soon after. It was founded on a simple principle: whether it's over years or decades, debts must always be paid. Those who default face the bank's power to destabilize kingdoms and finance their rivals. It's also believed that the bank employs faceless men when necessary to do their bidding. The bank is governed by keyholders who are descended from the bank's 23 founders. Each keyholder possesses a literal key to the bank's iron vaults, and major decisions require a majority vote among the keyholders. They meet in massive iron vaults beneath the bank's austere stone building, making decisions that determine the fates of entire kingdoms. Becoming a keyholder requires both immense wealth and approval from the existing keyholders. It's an exclusive club that guards its power jealously. Throughout history, the bank has financed kingdoms and wars. By the War of the Five Kings, the Iron Throne owed an estimated 2 million gold dragons to the Iron Bank, a debt Cersei refused to pay. In Season 5, Tycho Nestoris punished her for this by sowing civil unrest and financing her rival Stannis Baratheon. When Stannis failed, the bank supported Cersei, but only after she used Tyrell gold to pay the debt in full. And if you want to know more about exactly how the Iron Bank works, be sure to check out the channel for a deep dive into this shadowy entity. The 13 of Qarth. The 13, also known as the Elders of Qarth, are the governing oligarchic council of Qarth, the magnificent city-state on the southern coast of Essos known as the Queen of Cities. In the TV series, the 13 consists of 12 powerful merchant princes plus one warlock representative from the House of the Undying. Most members come from the Pureborn, Qarth's nobility, who claim descent from the ancient kings. However, membership is not hereditary by law. Those who have become powerful and wealthy enough to warrant inclusion can expect an invitation. The council governs Qarth through collective decision-making, managing its civic guard and naval fleet, and representing Qarth in foreign relations. But the 13's real power comes from their collective wealth. They control the lucrative trade flowing through the Jade Gates, the strait that makes Qarth essential to commerce between eastern and western Essos. The members cooperate out of mutual benefit. No single member can dominate as long as the others band together. But they still constantly maneuver for advantage. When Daenerys arrived at Qarth's gates, the 13 initially refused her entry until Xaro Zohan Daxos, one of the wealthiest members, invoked Qarthine custom to sponsor her. Xaro later conspired with the warlock Pyat Pri to murder the other 11 members and seize control of the city, but this coup failed when Daenerys' dragons killed the warlock. Daenerys then locked Xaro in his own vault to die, leaving Qarth's government in ruins. The Brotherhood without banners began as a royally sanctioned force but transformed into an outlaw guerrilla army, fighting for the small folk. The organization was founded in 298 AC when Hand Ned Stark sent Beric Dondarrion, along with 100 men, to apprehend Gregor Clegane. After Robert's death and Ned's execution, Beric's men found themselves outlaws in a kingdom divided by civil war. Rather than disperse, Beric led his followers as a resistance movement against the Lannisters. They operated in the Riverlands using guerrilla tactics, defending small folk from raiding parties, executing war criminals, and operating without banners of any lord. Hence the name. The Brotherhood swore no allegiance to any king, following ideals of justice and protection of the innocent. The Brotherhood's most unusual aspect was Beric's repeated resurrections. A follower of the Lord of Light, he was killed and brought back to life 6 times by Thoros of Myr using Reller's magic, with each death leaving new wounds on his increasingly battered body. Other notable members of the Brotherhood included Angai the Archer and Lemon Cloak. Beric gave his final life at the Battle of Winterfell in 304 AC, dying permanently while fighting the army of the dead. On screen, the Brotherhood faces an uncertain future after the death of their charismatic leader, while in the books, they continue under the leadership of Lady Stoneheart. The City Watch of King's Landing. Known as the Gold Cloaks for their distinctive uniform, this roughly 2,000-strong force is tasked with keeping order in a city of over 500,000 people, manning the 7 gates, patrolling streets, and enforcing justice. The Gold Cloaks were established shortly after the conquest when Aegon built his new capital. They are commanded by the Lord Commander of the City Watch, who in turn reports to the Small Council. The caliber of the men leading the Watch has varied wildly over the years. Notable commanders included Sir Lucas Gaunt under Aerys II, who maintained order during the Mad King's increasingly unstable reign. At the other end of the scale is Janos Slynt, who accepted bribes and massacred Robert Baratheon's bastards on Cersei's command. In Season 2, Tyrion Lannister replaced him with Bronn, who, though unconventional, proved effective. Under his leadership, the Gold Cloaks played a crucial role in defending the city walls during the Battle of the Blackwater. The Faith Militant serves as the military arm of the Faith of the Seven, consisting of 2 branches. The Warrior's Sons, elite knights who give up lands to serve the faith, and the Poor Fellows, commoner zealots with simple weapons. Formed thousands of years ago during the Andal invasion, the Faith Militant enforced religious law across kingdoms. Their power peaked during their uprising in 41 to 48 AC when they rebelled against the Targaryens for practicing incestuous marriage. Maegor the Cruel responded with overwhelming force, outlawing both orders. Challenged to a trial of 7 by Sir Daemon Morrigan, the Grand Captain of the Warrior's Sons, Maegor slayed all 7 of the Faith's champions, then burned the Sept of Remembrance with hundreds of Poor Fellows inside. The uprising lasted 7 years before Maegor's death. Jaehaerys I negotiated peace in 48 AC, dissolving the Faith Militant, which is how it remained until Cersei restored the order in 300 AC. Desperate to avoid her mounting debts, she allowed the High Sparrow to reform the Faith Militant. This backfired spectacularly when they arrested Cersei herself for adultery and incest. The High Sparrow used the Faith Militant to dominate King's Landing, arresting nobles and commoners alike, but the order ended abruptly when Cersei destroyed the Great Sept with wildfire in 303 AC, killing the High Sparrow, the Faith's leadership, and hundreds of Poor Fellows. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything Game of Thrones. The Faceless Men. the most secretive assassins guild in the known world, based in the House of Black and White in Braavos and founded over 400 years ago in the volcanic mines of Valyria. They operate as a religious death cult, believing that all death gods are different faces of the same deity, who they call the many-faced god. Each assassination is a sacred gift to this god. The first Faceless Man was a slave who heard his fellow slaves begging their gods for death. He granted the gift of death to one such slave and founded an order based on mercy killing. Some historians believe the Faceless Men engineered the doom of Valyria in 114 BC. The House of Black and White contains the Hall of Faces, a gallery lined with the faces of the dead. Trained assassins can magically wear these faces to assume another's identity, an ability that makes them nearly impossible to detect. Joining the guild requires abandoning all personal identity and attachments. Novices train for years in poison, combat, languages, and face-changing magic. They must become no one. The order accepts payment based on the target's importance. A merchant pays gold, but a poor man must pay everything he owns. The Faceless Men follow strict rules. They cannot kill for personal reasons, and they must only deliver their gift to a marked target. They use Valar Morghulis, all men must die, as a greeting, with the response, Valar Dohairis, all men must serve. Arya trained with them but rejected becoming no one, instead reclaiming her identity as a Stark of Winterfell. She did, however, retain face-changing skills, using them to infiltrate the twins and wipe out the men of the Frey family as vengeance for the Red Wedding. The Alchemist's Guild is an ancient order of pyromancers dedicated to creating wildfire, the volatile jade-green substance that burns with intense heat and cannot be extinguished by water. While pyromancers are known to exist in Asshai, and they use methods similar to Valyrian sorcery, the guild's true origins are unknown. Members, known as Wisdoms, wear long robes and claim to practice ancient magic, though Maesters dismiss their work as basic, dangerous chemistry. Wildfire's military applications are devastating but unpredictable. During the Targaryen era, Aerys became obsessed with it, ordering thousands of pots produced and secretly placing caches throughout King's Landing. He planned to burn them all rather than let Robert take the city. Jaime Lannister killed both the king and the head pyromancer to prevent this catastrophe. In 299 AC, Tyrion hired the guild to produce wildfire for the Battle of the Blackwater, using it to destroy Stannis' fleet in a massive explosion. And in 303 AC, Cersei detonated remaining caches beneath the Great Sept of Baelor, killing the High Sparrow, Marjorie Tyrell, and hundreds in a massive green explosion. The Golden Company is the most famous sellsword company in Essos, renowned for never breaking a contract. The company's motto is, "Our word is good as gold." Founded in 212 AC after the First Blackfire Rebellion, it consists of exiled Westerosi nobles and their descendants. After Daemon Blackfire's defeat by King Daeron II, his half-brother Aegor Bittersteel Rivers fled across the Narrow Sea with thousands of defeated soldiers. They formed a company and harbored ambitions of placing a Blackfire on the Iron Throne. In the books, they number approximately 10,000 men, both cavalry and infantry, and are led by a captain general, who is elected by his officers. This leader's tent is ringed with pikes, topped with the gilded skulls of his predecessors. The company supported subsequent Blackfire rebellions, ending with the War of the Ninepenny Kings in 260 AC, when Meleys the Monstrous was killed by Sir Barristan Selmy. With the Blackfire line ended, the company became true sellswords, gaining a reputation for excellence and for honoring their contracts. In 305 AC, the Golden Company honored its last contract, the defense of King's Landing for Queen Cersei. Daenerys Targaryen and Drogon incinerated the company's 20,000-man front line during the initial breach of the city gates, wiping out the sellsword army in minutes. Their leader, Harry Strickland, was killed by Grey Worm as he attempted to flee. The Second Sons are one of the most notorious sellsword companies in Essos, known for brutal efficiency and a willingness to take contracts others refuse. Unlike the more noble Golden Company, the Second Sons are composed of exiles and criminals. The company's name refers to the type of men it recruits. Second sons of noble houses who won't inherit titles or land, instead seeking their fortune through war. Operating primarily in Slaver's Bay and the Free Cities, they've fought in countless conflicts over more than 2 centuries, switching sides when profitable and maintaining no loyalty beyond gold. According to show canon, they numbered around 2,000 men at their peak, significantly smaller than the Golden Company. Leadership changes frequently, often through betrayal and assassination. When Daenerys first encountered them in Season 3, they were led by the arrogant Marrow, the Titan's bastard, with Prendal Nagezin and Daario Naharis as subordinate captains. Daenerys tried to hire the Second Sons to help her liberate Yunkai's slaves, but Marrow instead accepted Yunkai's counteroffer to fight against her. A fatal mistake. Daario Naharis, charmed by Daenerys, murdered both his superior officers and pledged the Second Sons to her service. Daario became Daenerys' lover and military commander. They fought in the conquest of Yunkai, the siege of Meereen, and helped maintain order during her rule of Slaver's Bay. Unlike the Unsullied, who were freed slaves loyal to Daenerys out of gratitude, the Second Sons remained professional soldiers fighting for pay and plunder, though Daario's personal loyalty to Daenerys kept them in line. When Daenerys finally departed for Westeros in Season 6, she left Daario and the Second Sons behind in Meereen, tasking them with keeping the peace in Slaver's Bay. She knew that bringing a sellsword company to Westeros would alienate potential allies. From the frozen wall to the sun-baked streets of Braavos, these brotherhoods, councils, and companies have endured for centuries, outlasting kings and conquerors. The Game of Thrones may be won by individuals, but it's these organizations that truly make the world turn. Now be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our complete guide to every night in Game of Thrones. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.